All right, so if you're trying to decide whether you should go to Disneyland or not because you have small kids, if you're not, because you should, we're about to give you a list of our favorite rides that are enjoyed by everybody, but especially for those young kiddos.
Hello everybody, welcome to RTD Adventures. My name is Brian.
And my name is Jacob.
And we've compiled a list of the top 10 rides that we think are going to be the best choices for maybe even the first ride you're going to take your small child on. Now, of course, Disneyland is a place that's enjoyed by people of all ages. And while the rides that we're listing here are fun for adults too, but these ones are especially fun for the kids and they don't have any height requirements.
All right, the first one on this list is one of my all-time favorites, and that is Peter Pan's Flight. It's an amazing ride. Like Brian said a little bit at the intro there, anybody, any age can go on this. They even make some room for you if you kind of have 3 people and you have like just a really small kiddo. They may just let you sit on the lap there. They'll still bring the bar back. They'll make sure it's safe, but it's not a fast ride. There's a lot of things that they can see, a lot of moving colors. It's also enjoyable for the parents, for the nostalgia. So that is my all-time favorite ride when it comes to in Fantasyland. Jump on that with your kiddos.
Next one on the list is perhaps one of the most iconic rides in all of Disneyland. It's Dumbo the Flying Elephant. And while this one really isn't exciting for people that are maybe, creeping up there into 7, 8, 9 years old, the younger kids absolutely eat it up.
Yep.
Okay. Don't get me wrong, it's still enjoyable just for the fact that it's such an iconic piece of Disneyland. But this one is an easygoing ride. It's fun and it's exciting for the kids that are real small as well.
All right, so next on this list, if you're partial to the backside of water, is the Jungle Cruise. And this one is literally enjoyable by any age whatsoever, especially adults, for the jokes, for the nostalgia, and for the kids, the animals, the different things they're gonna see on this ride. There's a little bit of everything for everyone. So we highly recommend this no matter what age the kids or adults in your party are.
And this is one that I absolutely loved when I was little. On my first trip to Disneyland, I'd say that this was probably my favorite ride just because of the animals. I was completely fascinated with them. And, being at such a young age, I couldn't figure out if they were real or not.
Yep.
Next up on this list, nothing can stop us now. We've got Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway, one of the newest rides at any Disney park, and actually one of my favorites now. So this is, it's so much fun for people of all ages, but there's so many bright, colorful things for kids to look at.
Yep.
The music is catchy, the effects are awesome, so adults are gonna love it. Yeah, the song's too catchy. That song gets stuck in my head all the time, but I'm gonna tell you what, kids absolutely love this. From the queue, where there's so many awesome things to look at in Toontown, all the way to the fun storytelling and the ride itself. This is a must-do for people of all ages, but for especially with families with small kids, this is one they absolutely love.
So if you're ready to go to infinity and beyond, I don't know if I can keep doing these puns. We do recommend Buzz Lightyear's Astro Blasters for those of all ages. Granted, it's a great competition for the adults, but there's also a lot of cool, colorful monsters they're going to see. You can spin the car around. I mean, I've definitely gone on it and seen someone in front of me that had nothing to do with the competition at all. They just wanted to keep spinning. So just be aware that might be a thing for you guys, but it's definitely an easygoing ride, nothing really terrifying at all. Most of the monsters are 2-dimensional, so they're just kind of staring at you. There's nothing really scary about it, but we recommend it. It's wonderful for all ages.
And for those poor unfortunate souls that need a kid's ride over in California Adventure, we're going to be hopping on the Little Mermaid ride, so Ariel's Undersea Adventure.
Yeah.
This one is a very similar ride vehicle to the Haunted Mansion, but it's not scary at all. No. It's basically a retelling of the Little Mermaid, and there's a lot of fun music, right? You're getting all the classics from the movie, as well as a lot of really well done animatronics that's just fun to look at. This is a fun ride for kids of all ages. Plenty of stuff to look at. It's a really awesome ride. Yep,
it's also air conditioned. So if you need a place to go that's air conditioned and you're not in Disneyland for the Haunted Mansion or a ride like that, make sure you take advantage of this ride. It's pretty quick queue. So for those of all ages, especially the kids, if you're very fond of Jungle Cruise and Small World, put them both together for the Storybook boats, the Storybook Land Canal boats.
Good job, Jacob.
Thank you. It really is a combination of both. It's a very easygoing ride in a boat with someone kind of telling you the stories the different Disney stories with really cool. I mean, like if you think the little miniature models are a neat thing, whether you're in trains or I don't know, like buildings, architecture. They do an amazing job replicating like major castles in Disney at a smaller scale. As they're telling these stories, they're also making funny puns, different jokes. It's just lots to look at as well for the kids. You can kind of point out Arendelle, which is one of the coolest things I've ever seen when it comes to being a miniature. But yeah, highly recommend it. It was funny. It was, wasn't that, bad of a ride in the sense of it wasn't a long one. So yeah, jump on it.
Just a quick heads up on this though, kids do get scared at the beginning of the ride because you drive through, or not drive, you ride through Monstro's mouth. Yes. And that can be kind of scary for some kids, but once you get past that point, then it's all smooth sailing.
But no sales though.
Also, try it at night. Get a really cool perspective.
Yes.
And how about another classic, King Arthur Carousel, located directly in the center of Fantasyland. This is one that you see as soon as you walk through the castle, you hear the music, and at night the lights are incredible. But this one is a load of fun. There's a ton of cool animals to ride on, and there's just so much history behind the carousel. The carousel, not this one specifically, but a carousel was the inspiration for Walt Disney to get Disneyland started. Mm-hmm. So it's a really fun ride, and if you can catch it, they have the Julie Andrews horse that you can ride on that's
officially dedicated
to Mary Poppins herself.
Yes, find it. And if you're fond of following white rabbits down the rabbit hole that are late for a very important date, there's always Alice in Wonderland. It's a wonderful ride for, once again, all ages. Pretty easygoing, very colorful, just like the show is. A little confusing if the kids aren't old enough to know what's happening, but there's enough to keep them occupied, and probably a lot of nostalgia for those that watched Alice in Wonderland and thought, what in the world is going on? So it's a wonderful ride. We recommend it. Bring your kiddos on this one as well.
And as an honorable mention, before we get to our last one, I gotta talk about the Disneyland Railroad. There are stretches of this that are really fun for kids, notably the section with the dinosaurs. That is awesome, but the rest of the ride can be a little bit boring. There are sections where you're sitting and waiting for people to load and unload.
Yes.
So while this one is relaxing and it's fun, especially for adults that want to take a break, you may or may not want to go with kids that can be restless on this one.
Yeah, or if they're scared of dinosaurs.
That too.
It's a world of laughter and a world of fun. It's a small world. Everybody knows what this ride is. You should take your kids on it. I'm just joking. No, it actually is it's an easygoing ride. Once again, also air conditioned. Probably a one-time thing to do whenever we go, just because the song that repeats over and over and over and over and over. It is cool to see the different countries, to see the different the different pieces of clothing that were like hand stitched per different culture that you're sailing into. Once again, it's the song, but good for all ages, wonderful for the kiddos, and they may want you to go on it again. But as the parent, you can say no.
Or you could just take a nap.
So do any of these rides on the list sound familiar to you? Are you going to be going on them again? Are you going to bring your little ones? We do recommend it, just our top 10. I'm definitely going to be taking my kids on all of these. So what about you? Let us know in the comments below. Are you going to take your kids on any of these? Is there any that we missed that you actually like to take your kids on?
And if you're looking for something a little bit more exciting, we've got a list of our top must-do rides every time we're at Disneyland. A little bit more exciting than the slow rides we just talked about, but nonetheless, these are ones that we absolutely have to do every time we're there. So
every time.
We're going to pop a link in the description. We're going to pop a link up here on the screen so you can click or tap that to go and check that one out. But we really appreciate you guys hanging out with us. If you don't mind giving us a like, sharing the video, subscribing to our channel, all of that goes a long way to helping us bring more great Disney content to you. We really enjoyed hanging out with you guys today. And once again, we just wanted to say
thanks for watching.